So the items that we're recommending you check, like any self-assembly thing, is that you're going to need the 3 items that we supply, which I'll talk about in a second. I'm also suggesting that you have a clean damp and a clean dry cloth so that we can clean the thing off, and possibly a broom handle or something about 1 metre long to help during the assembly. So just have those things handy. You may also, if you don't have any good fingernails like me, I don't have good fingernails, long fingernails, you may need a knife just to help peel off the protective layer on the tape. So the main three components that you've got is the main body of the unit, which will either be blue or yellow, as you see here. Then we've got a bottom base unit and a top unit which has got the printed black on it. They are labelled up top and bottom, so that should be self-explanatory. The first thing we're going to do to make up the base unit, you will see the item is already pre-creased in 3 places. What I'm doing now is I'm not removing the tape yet. I suggest you don't either. I suggest that you fold this item over at roughly the angle that you're going to see. It will spring back, but it's just to give you an idea of what you're doing. I'm then lining it up, as you can see here. I've got both those edges lined up. That would be out of line, so with that. So I'm trying to line up that point with that point there, and similarly with this one at this end. When you're comfortable that you've got a feeling for it, then obviously we've got to go to take off the tape. It's easily done. Hold it with a couple of fingers so you're putting a bit of an angle on it, and try working, look at both ends so you're lining them both up, use both index fingers, and then roughly get this one in position. So there, I'm lined up at the top and at the base. I'm just pushing that slightly with my thumb to make it tacky. I'm then doing the same thing at the other end, and then I'm pushing all the way along to adhere the rest of it. What I then suggest you do is just turn it over, and you can see that I'm rubbing my fingers up the inside again to push the item down so that the tape is making contact with the surface you've just adhered it to. And that's the first stage over and done. As you can see, we've got the Toblerone made. What we're then going to do is next fix the bottom. It's labelled up as the bottom. Leave the label facing up into the unit. Again, I'm going to suggest that we do a dry run, so don't take the tape off. We're going to put this down on its side, and this triangle is the same size as the triangle of the base of the unit. So basically we're going to line it up by keeping it square to the table and then push it in like so. You might have the odd little peak where it's sticking out a little bit. That's just the tolerances of manufacturing, but basically you can see that that's going to fit. As I said earlier, make sure that this is all clean and dry, because that's where the tape is adhering to. Next thing we're going to do is take the tape off again on all 3 sides. It's got the same message on all 3 sides, so it doesn't matter that I've spun it around. Don't overbend these. I would suggest that somewhere like that, probably about 75 or 80 degrees. You can do this 2 ways. You can do it the way I'm doing it, which is sliding it along from the base, from the top of the table, trying to line up the point of the triangle with the point of the triangle here, pushing that unit in and lining up my side and the other side where I can. Okay, it's not meant to be a perfect fit all of the time. Keep your fingers on the whole of the base of the unit. You need to make sure that you're getting reasonably good adhesion, a little bit of downward pressure. Again, put your fingers underneath because it's not yet stuck properly. Put it on the floor. Then you're taking your broom handle or any other device that you've got, you're pushing down on the flap inside, fairly close to the crease point being the outside here. That's where the tape is. Push that along and push down in 4 or 5 places. That'll help the adhesion, and that's about that. Whenever you're handling it, I would make sure initially you put your fingers underneath again, so that you're not putting any strain on the adhesive tape until you're sure that it's got a good grip. And now the next item we're going to concentrate on is the top, labelled as such on there. What we're doing here is, this is not a perfect science, you've got the tolerances of manufacturing, so we're trying to line up the outside of this edge with the intersection of the white and black lines around here. Again, do a dummy run. My suggestion with this is you do this not like we did with the rest of it. You do it with the top face up, like this, having a dry run. making sure that you think you know where it's fitting, playing around with it so you can see the white space. As I say, you're not going to see this afterwards, so if you're a few millimetres out, it won't harm the unit at all. Pulling the tape off one more time on all three sides. Just be careful when you're doing this. And then for me, the way I've found to do it is that I'm working with this corner, working here, and then I'm trying to look down both angles. You can't look on all three sides. You might have a colleague that wants to help you. Again, pick the unit up by the corner like this. If you're on your own, again, what I'm doing is looking right in front of me where my left thumb is at the point of that triangle, looking down the lines on the other side, and then I'm sticking the item on. I will push down firmly on the top. It will take quite a lot of weight, obviously not a human being. I wouldn't suggest you stand on top of that, on top of the table anyway. So don't forget, when you're about to move it, you've just put the top on, still not 100% secure, so get your fingers underneath that, your fingers on the base, turn it over, put it down gently, put some weight on it to make the adhesive tape take a hold. I then suggest that you pick it up by the body on either side, place the unit down, and then you can put quite a lot of weight on it to make sure that the tape is adhering to the bottom of the top unit. You can't see the black line, that's fine, so if you're a little bit out it won't matter, only you will notice, and that's you with your hand sanitising station.